Hello team, welcome to lesson 3 of The Day the Crayons Quit, and we are going to continue to look at emotion works and the orange cog. So you'll remember that the orange cog is all about emotion names, so being able to recognize an emotion and give it a name. Emotions like sad, happy, excited, all those kinds of emotions. So something very exciting has happened. We have received a letter from Duncan. So you'll remember from the story that the crayons all sent letters to Duncan, but we've received a letter back from Duncan. And it goes a little something like this. Dear Primary 3 and 4, I need your help. I have heard that you have been reading all the problems I am having with my crayons. Well, I thought I had solved the problem by creating a picture which would make all of them happy. However, it turns out that one picture is not enough. So I thought that if each of you create a picture and then your teacher send them along to me, I might be able to make them all happy again. As at the moment, I have no colours to colour with because they have all run away. Could you create a drawing that will help meet all of their emotional needs? Thank you so much for your help. Kind regards, Duncan, the owner of lots of missing and disgruntled crayons. So that's exciting. So we have a letter here from Duncan needing your help. So before we do that, let's have a look at how we can help him. So let's have a little look through all the crayons and see what their problems were and see if we can create a picture at the end that might actually help him. Then you can send me the pictures and then we'll see what happens next. So here is our recipe for success today. Our recipe for success is to recognise emotion names, identify the emotions the crayons are feeling, create a drawing to support the crayons' emotional needs, and organise my thoughts into notes using headings. So let's have a look at the task, because then we can see how we can hit all of these success criteria today. So today's task. Now the first bit of our task is going to be writing notes about each of the colours. So as we go through the video today, we will look at all of the letters again, and this will help us decide how we need to use the colours in the big finish task. So a good idea would be to take notes as you go along. So we're going to look at the red crayon first. So in here it says that you need to include headings. Now if we were looking at the red crayon, what heading might we use? Have a little think. Now, the heading that we would use would be the red crayon. Now, a heading is a bit like a title. We use headings quite a bit when we did newspaper articles, and they give the reader a little idea of what's going on. But today, our headings will give us a little idea of what's going on. So when we go to draw our picture, it means we can look back at our notes and we think, I've not got any red on here. We can scan through our notes and find the heading that says the red crayon and know exactly what to do. So, in your notes, as well as your heading, you will need to know how the crayons are feeling. And you also need to write how you think you can help them feel better in your drawing. And then obviously, the last bit of today's task will be to draw your picture. I would like you to pause the video now and have a read through of the red crayon's letter. So have a little read through and see if you can think about what emotions he is feeling and how we might be able to help him. So pause the video now and have a read through. Now as we go through, it will be really good if you could take some notes so you won't forget. So a bit like I've done here. So I've got a title here, the red crayon. I've got the picture next to it. Now you don't need to worry about the picture because you'll have the picture up on the screen when you pause the video of the letter. And then I've written a little bit of notes. So I've got upset, tired, frustrated, sleepy. So some of the words that he will be feeling, some of the emotions that are coming through, and that he needs a break. Okay, so when I read the letter, that's what I thought I got from it. So that's how I think the red crayon's feeling. So that the fact that he needs a break makes me know that when I go to draw my picture, I can go back to my notes and I'll see that I can't use that much red in my big picture. So can you have a go at making some notes now, please? Here we have the purple crayon. So you can do the same again. You can read through the letter and then create your own set of notes. I'll just read it through now for you. So, dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I am your favourite crayon for grapes, dragons, wizard hats, but it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous colour goes outside the lines. If you don't start colouring inside the lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon. So something you need to write in your notes there is that he's a bit frustrated, isn't he? He's a bit frustrated and he's a bit upset. And why is he those two things? Yep, That's because he won't stay inside the lines. So when you're drawing your picture, you need to make sure that whenever you're using a purple crayon, it is super, super, super neat. Now, as we go through, it would be really good if you could take some notes so you won't forget. So a bit like I've done here. So I've got a title here, the red crayon. I've got the picture next to it. Now, you don't need to worry about the picture because you'll have the picture up on the screen when you pause the video of the letter. And then I've written a little bit of notes. So I've got upset, tired, frustrated, sleepy. So some of the words that he will be feeling, some of the emotions that are coming through, and that he needs a break. Okay, so when I read the letter, that's what I thought I got from it. So that's how I think the red crayon's feeling. So that the fact that he needs a break makes me know that when I go to draw my picture, I can go back to my notes and I'll see that I can't use that much red in my big picture. So can you have a go at making some notes now, please? Now, even before we read the beige crayon's letter, we know that he's feeling a certain emotion. Now, how do we know that? So don't even look at the letter. How would we know that? Have a little think. We know that he's feeling a certain emotion because of the way that he looks. So if you look at the crayon now, what kind of emotion do you think he's feeling? Do you think it's a happy emotion or a sad one? Most definitely a sad one, yeah. Most definitely a sad one. So let's read the letter together. Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I am neither. I am beige and I am proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies and puppies, while the only things I get are turkey dinners, if I'm lucky, and wheat. And let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid get excited about colouring wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon. So, what clues do we get from that letter for what kinds of things we could put in our picture that the beige crayon would like to be coloured in? So let's have a little scan back through again. He says it's not fair that the brown gets to be all the bears, ponies and puppies. So maybe in our picture we could draw some bears, ponies and puppies in a beige colour. And then that would make him happy again. Now, as we go through, it would be really good if you could take some notes so you won't forget. So a bit like I've done here. So I've got a title here, the red crayon. I've got the picture next to it. Now, you don't need to worry about the picture because you'll have the picture up on the screen when you pause the video of the letter. And then I've written a little bit of notes. So I've got upset, tired, frustrated, sleepy. So some of the words that he will be feeling, some of the emotions that are coming through, and that he needs a break. Okay, so when I read the letter, that's what I thought I got from it. So that's how I think the red crayon's feeling. So that the fact that he needs a break makes me know that when I go to draw my picture, I can go back to my notes and I'll see that I can't use that much red in my big picture. So can you have a go at making some notes now, please? Now that you have done your beige notes, let's have a go at looking at the grey crayon. Grey crayon here, you're killing me. I know you love elephants, and I know that elephants are grey, but that's a lot of space to colour in all by myself. And I don't even get me started on your rhinos, hippos, humpback whales. You know how tired I am after handling one of those things. Such big animals. Baby penguins are grey, you know. So are very tiny rocks, pebbles. How about one of those once in a while to give me a break? So, again, we've got some more clues in here about what the grey crayon might want to be. So he definitely doesn't want to be a hippo or a rhino or a humpback whale. So pause the video now and have a think about what he could be. Good. So he could be a baby penguin. He could be a tiny rock, a pebble. So he's tired. So the emotions that he's feeling is tired. He's a bit frustrated as well. Upset. Exhausted. So think of all the different words you could use. So write your notes now for the grey crayon. Now if you don't want to write your notes, you could record yourself like me. So you could record yourself on somebody's phone, and then that means when you go to draw your picture, you'll have your recordings of what you think as well. Now as we go through, it'll be really good if you could take some notes so you won't forget. So a bit like I've done here. So I've got a title here, the red crayon. I've got the picture next to it. Now you don't need to worry about the picture because you'll have the picture up on the screen when you pause the video of the letter. And then I've written a little bit of notes. So I've got upset, tired, frustrated, sleepy. So some of the words that he will be feeling, some of the emotions that are coming through, and that he needs a break. Okay, so when I read the letter, that's what I thought I got from it. So that's how I think the red crayon's feeling. So that the fact that he needs a break makes me know that when I go to draw my picture, I can go back to my notes and I'll see that I can't use that much red in my big picture. So can you have a go at making some notes now, please? Now have a read of the white crayon's letter. So you can pause the video now and you can have a read of it. And then you can write your notes about why you think the white crayon might be feeling the way he's feeling. But also, he tells you exactly how he's feeling too. He uses an emotion word. Can you write that in your notes as well? See if you can read it, find it, and then write it in your notes. And then you can think about what you would do with the white crayon for your big picture at the end. Hi Duncan, I hate being used to draw the outline of things that are coloured by other colours, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in the colours of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometimes? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, Black Crayon. So, he gives you some hints as well, doesn't he? He gives you some hints of what he would like to be. Maybe you could put a black beach ball in your picture. Also, if he's saying, it's not fair, what emotion word would you use for that? Write it down in your notes now, or say it out loud. In the last lesson, we had a look at the green crayon. So have a wee read of it now, and then think about what you thought about last time, and maybe you've got some more ideas this time of what you could do with the green crayon. Now the green crayon seems pretty happy, doesn't he? He's quite happy how he is. But his problem is because he wants to help out someone else. A bit like you're helping out all the crayons. He wants to help out someone else. Can you remember who in the story this green crayon wants to help out? Now have a look through the letter if you need a wee reminder as well. And think about what two crayons needed help. Some of you talked about the two crayons last time as well. So have a little think for me now. So you can pause the video and have a wee read. I knew you'd remember. It was the yellow and orange crayon. Now remember they were both arguing about wanting to be the colour of the sun. Now a couple of you already had some ideas about this, so I'm sure you can think of something. I'll give you a little clue. Somebody in the class thought it was a good idea to make them both be able to be the colour of the sun. Maybe you can think of other things too. Maybe you can think of things that the yellow crayon and the orange crayon could be together to help them be friends again. Here's another crayon that needs a bit of a break. You can tell that from the size of the crayon. You can tell it from what he says in his letter. And you can tell it by the expression on his face too. So you can think about the emotion words that come through in his letter. You can see it from the expressions on his face. And you can see it by looking at the size of him. He needs a break. So when you draw a picture, make sure you don't use too much blue. In the pink crayon's letter, we can see that he's very frustrated. He's frustrated because he thinks that Duncan just thinks that he's a girl's colour, and he would like to be coloured in as lots of different things and not just used by his sister. But he's quite happy that he was used by his sister too. So he's hoping that Duncan's going to use him for other things and not just for pink and what people think would be girly things, because he's saying that pink can be used for anything. So you can pop that in your notes and you can think about how he might be feeling if he thinks he's not getting used. And it says here that he signs it off as his unused friend. So he feels like he's not getting used to his full potential. And then finally we have the peach crayon. Now the peach crayon's ended up in a bit of a situation because he's had all of his wrapper taken off. So he tells you there is one word in here that explains exactly how he's feeling. Now, somebody in our class used this as well. And they used this word and it is in here. So I'm going to leave you to find that word because it's in the letter. So you could write that down in your notes. You could write down that word. And if you can think of any other words as well. And then you could think about how you would help him. So a little reminder of today's task, to write notes about each of the colours. Now you might have done that as we've gone through, or you might be going back now to do it because you've watched the video through. It's up to you. So as we went through, some of the slides have got the notes on to give you a little help, so you can copy them down and then you can think of your own as well. So your notes should include how the crayons are feeling and also how you think you're going to help them feel better in your drawing. Or maybe they already feel good and they're trying to help somebody else out, like the green crayon. So maybe there's enough green in your picture, but you're trying to help the green one out by helping out the orange and the yellow crayon. I also, now we've done all of that, need you to draw a picture to help all of the crayons feel better again. Now don't worry if you don't have the correct colour of crayons at home, because you can label the pictures you've drawn with the colours instead. And actually that might be better because then Duncan can persuade the colours to come back again, because then he'll be able to use them. So I hope you've enjoyed today's task, and we'll now have a look to see if you've been successful. So go away and do your picture and write your notes. If you need to add anything else in, or you want to look back at the video again, see if you can add anything else into your notes, that's absolutely fine. And then you can draw your picture, and then if you pause it now, and now that you've finished pausing it, you'll be able to have a look and see if you've been successful today. So we'll have a look and see if we've been successful. So now that we have finished, we have been successful because we have drawn a picture using all of the colours appropriately. So we've used them just how they want to be used and how to help them out. We've written notes to help us draw the picture. So that meant that when we were drawing our picture, we could go back and have a look at the notes to see exactly if we're doing it right or not. And we've identified the emotions the crayons are feeling, and we have tried our very best and enjoyed ourselves today. So, have you been successful? Can you tick them all off today? I'm sure you can. I'm looking forward to seeing your beautiful drawings, and then we can all package them together and pop them on a slideshow to show each other. So, well done for today, and I will speak to you very, very soon.